Hey guys, Wesson Mine Detective here, coming at you with another mine exploring video. So right in front of me, we got this dry waterfall. It's about 7 or 8 feet high, and I'm hiking up this canyon, about to head to another abandoned mine. And there's a shot looking up the canyon. I'll be headed up there right now. Alright guys, so let's climb up this dry rock waterfall. Let me find a nice handhold. There we go. And we are up. Alright, so I toss my head up here and we will continue up this canyon, and as you can see, these canyon walls are really steep. Alright, so here's yet another dry waterfall that I gotta go up, and once we get up there we'll have a really good view of that tram tower. So looking up there, that's the tram tower, and then right here we got the dry creek bed. This would probably be a 2-foot pool come springtime, and I'm probably within close to a quarter mile of the mine. It's probably right around that corner. We are getting very close to the mine site, because right here we got the flywheel off of what looks like a hit and miss engine. It's got 6 of these spokes. Yeah, that is a very cool find. My only guess as to why it's in the wash is somebody tried to haul it out, but it was probably too heavy for them. And it looks like I can even see the tailings pile spilling off the side of that mountain right there. Alright, so I'm really excited because right here I found the second flywheel off of the hit and miss engine. With this being here, I mean, who knows what else we might find up at the mine site. And then right here we got some corrugated metal siding. And then looking up this way, you can see the huge waste rock pile. And I can already see a couple of structures up there. Alright guys, so I can already tell that this mine is probably going to be artifact heaven, because right in front of me, this looks to me like the chassis off of an ore car. Right here, look at that, still pivots. So right here, this is where the body of the ore car would have sat, and the wheels would have been down here. That's such a cool find. I mean, the fact that it still pivots, that's amazing. Alright, and then right up here, we got way more artifacts. So we got yet another wheel, probably off of I guess hit and miss engine, or maybe a compressor. Yet another flywheel. That is amazing. And there's just so much more in the wash. Who knows what's up there. Let's walk around here a bit, see what else we can find. Yeah, I'm really in shock. There's a couple of 50-gallon drums right there. And then over this way, so this looks to me like a compressed air tank, maybe an accumulator. These still turn, that's really cool. Looks like this is where the hose would have hooked up. That's a really cool find. And I mean, look at all this stuff in the wash. That looks like a stove. Let's go up there. Alright, so let's take a closer look at this cast iron stove. So it looks like it's upside down, because right here you can see it says clean out, and it's upside down. Oh, it still opens. Yeah, that's a really cool find, cast iron stove right here. This one still has a handle. Just looking inside. As you can see, it's riveted. Most of this stuff looks like it dates to the 19-teens, maybe the 1920s. And there's just so much more stuff scattered. Right here, we got this boot heel plate. This looks like it's made out of rubber. It says made in USA. And there was so much more stuff I seen on the way up. Let's head up this way, see what else I can find. This place is just loaded. It has so many artifacts. As you can see, just metal scattered all over. Oh wow, we got yet another wheel. What is that, the third one? No, that's a fourth one. Yeah, there's another wheel. That's probably off of all I can guess is hit and miss engine. All of these look like. And then got this piece right here. Really reminds me of a drum brake off of like maybe a car, like a truck. Yeah, if you guys know what that is, it really reminds me of a drum brake. And then oh, I see some more stuff down here. Yep, there's still some more awesome stuff down here. Check out this awesome gear. It's about probably 2 feet in diameter. That would definitely been off of milling equipment. And then this piece right over here, that almost reminds me of, I seen a similar piece that came off a Pelton wheel. But this one is way bigger in diameter. And then we'll be headed up that trail up towards the mine site. Okay, so I think I just stumbled upon artifact heaven at this mine. So right in front of me, we got the hoist. So cable would have been spooled around here. You could see where the cable used to be. And then here's looking at the large gear on the side. This is so amazing. And looks like this is made out of wood. So wood is securing that gear in place. And if you look over this way, you can see the indent where it used to be. So I rolled this sucker. It's probably like 150 pounds. I rolled it to where it is now so I could get a better shot of it. Yep, that is one amazing find. And we're not done yet. This is a skip car. And it looks like it's a homemade skip car too. Because if you look at these are ore car spikes. And those are keeping these braces in place. And you can see the welding work that they did here. Definitely indicates that this was homemade. And then let's take a quick look at the mouth of the ore car. And we will head to the, finally start heading to the mine. But yeah, this is just amazing how all of this stuff is still here. So there's the mouth of the skip car. And there is just still more stuff all around here. Right here we got a cone top beer can dating back to probably the 1930s. There's a sardine can, a bunch of cans, and we'll be headed up there right now. It's just totally unbelievable how many artifacts are up at this mine site. So here's yet another one of these gears, and this is attached to one of those cylindrical pieces. I don't think I've ever seen a setup like this. Like I said, I've seen pieces like that off of shaker tables and Pelton wheels, but never that big. And I've seen these types of gears before, but not totally sure what they would have been off of. So if you guys know what kind of machinery this is, please comment, and I'll be headed up this switchback trail. It keeps heading up the waste rock pile. Alright guys, so right over there on the waste rock pile you can see a flywheel. Looks like that one came off of a jaw crusher. And then here's looking up the waste rock pile, and I see a structure right in the middle of the screen. And then looks like the mine is right up here. So who knows if previous explorers put all these artifacts right next to each other, but here's 3 really cool artifacts. So I'm pretty sure one of these would have been the clutch. Obviously this would have been on a car. And then here's half of a flywheel. That might have been off like a shaker table. And this is probably the coolest piece of the bunch. That is the gate off of an ore car. Here's where it would have hinged on. So this would have been the bottom. would have opened like that. But yeah, it's a really cool piece, and there is just way more stuff up this wash. Alright guys, so at this point, I mean, it's almost impossible to show all these artifacts, but I'll try my best. So right here, we got a big block off of an engine, and then right behind me, we got this platform, and there's another one of those wheels. So I'm guessing these wheels would have been here. I'm not sure if it would have been like a shaker table or Pelton wheel or what, but it looks like there was a pulley system. You see these cables right here, and those cables would have been wrapped around this wheel right here, this pulley system, and there would have probably been ore buckets going up the side of the mountain. And I missed a couple of these artifacts explaining the pulley system. So right here we got another boot heel plate. It's got these nails in them. Probably dates to the 1920s, I would guess. Made out of rubber. And this is a really cool find. That's like a really cool steampunk looking piece. It's got 4 gears on it. That is really cool. And we'll be headed up the side of the mountain. Alright guys, so right there we got a huge tank. I really have no clue what that would have been used for. I think it's too big for compressed air, but maybe I'm wrong on that. We got yet another pedal. Alright, yeah, that's really cool. Looks like it even has a number on there. It says 24887-13. Then right here we got a piece of drill steel. That is very cool. And then this looks like it would have been used for that amalgamation process. We got 2 of them. So this was kind of like a, I would guess like a ball mill almost. It would have rolled around. And there's just so much more here. We got a huge header, another one of those gears. There's just way more here. But this is probably the coolest piece of the bunch. Check out those insulators. This one all the way on the end is still intact, and it says Pierce, P-E-I-R-C-E. Make sure not to break that. That is really cool. All right, let's check out all these other artifacts. All right guys, so there's a shot off the waste rock pile, and there's looking way down from where I came from. Obviously, as you guys can tell, I love torturing myself going to these mines. Hey, but this one is totally worth it. This place is loaded. There are just so many artifacts. There's a great view. Alright guys, so I found another cool piece off of this pulley mechanism. Right here you can see the intact cotter pin, and you can barely make out the word Roebling, so I'll leave a little bit of company history, but in short, they did some work on the Golden Gate Bridge, actually a lot of work, and obviously they made some mining equipment as well. Alright guys, so that's where I just crawled up from, and seriously, no words can be used to describe this place, because right behind me right here, just look at this mill site. It is just massive. Like this flywheel right here, it's probably 6 feet in diameter. I've never seen a wheel this big. And then right here, it looks like we got, it says lightning arrestor with a W. Oh, Westinghouse. Yeah, that's a Westinghouse lightning arrestor. So right there it says type 15 auto valve lightning arrestor, max KV. I'm guessing that's like kilovolts or something. 12, and then it says style 716150D. And on the bottom it says Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company, East Pittsburgh Works, East Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. So that is a very cool artifact. And then there's a big gear up there. There's even rails sticking out of there. So that might have been a trestle. There's just so much going on here, and it sucks because you could see there's a fire here. But here's looking up in this. There's just so much cool stuff here. There's a really big gear right there. Here's some electrical components. This is amazing. And then here's, looks like there would have been two of these, because there was one of these, what I would call like a ball mill or tumbler right down there. So here's yet another tumbler. And looks like this one has a name. It says Steffens Adamson Manufacturing Company. Very cool. But yeah, you could tell this thing is sideways, and this flywheel has gotten crushed. Going around this corner, there's a side shot of that rock tumbler used for the amalgamation process, and I'd like to call that an elevator. I'm not sure. Looks like it also has a pulley system. And there's yet another flywheel right there. But yeah, this is really hard to figure out since there's like a fire and almost everything is pretty much fallen over. And let's check out over this way. Oh, that is really cool. Look at that. We got rail going right off the edge of the cliff. Sick. Alright guys, so here's looking up above what I would call the main mill site. There's that peculiar, what I would call an elevator. I'm not even sure what that is. And then right over this way, we just got a whole bunch of corrugated metal and concrete footings. Ooh, and then right here, looks like this is the crankshaft off of an engine. And then right over here, looks like we got the whole engine. Yep, that's an engine. I really have no clue how old these are, but if I had to guess, probably 1930s or so. Looks like this baby is a 6-cylinder. And then looks like there's a concrete vat right here. I'm guessing cyanide or some other chemical was stored in here. And then I see some rail going off right there. And I see the main mine. And then right above it, we got that cool metal structure. Alright, so I crawled up here, and here's the top of the tram system. Looks like it doubled as probably a telegraph pole. There's a whole bunch of strain insulators up there made out of porcelain. And then looks like right here we got like a switch plate. You could see the rail leading right up to it. And then looks like there's a cable right here, so maybe there was an ore bucket that transported the ore down to the mill site. So let's follow these rails. Oh, and right here, talking about insulators. That's really cool. So these two would have held the insulators on top of those poles. And then looks like we got a split in the rail. And looks like we got a portal right here. So right inside, we got this piece. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Not totally sure what the heck it is. Looks like this gear would have been on it. That is a very interesting piece. Yeah, if you guys know what that is, please comment. I'm pretty sure this would have been like an ore car. It just looks like a really intricate and fancy one. And I've seen this. It says cigarettes, wheat cigarettes. Yeah, I can't really read it, but that is pretty cool. We will continue on. Looks like that opens up to the surface right there. Another little hole right there. Let's see how far this thing goes. There's a piece of newspaper right here. August furniture. Yeah, this looks pretty old. I'd have to guess probably from the early 1900s, probably the 1920s or 30s. And then there's another strip right here. Cool stuff right there. Let's see what other cool stuff we could find in here. So we got some rails tucked up in this pocket. Here's looking back towards a portal. And right here looks like we got a stoped out section. Here's a ladder leading up into that stope. There's a couple of stools up there that just dead ends. And looks like that leads out to the surface. So I'll head up here, see what's up this way. Alright guys, so I found a piece of newspaper that points out the approximate age of this mine, or at least this strip of newspaper. So looks like the latest date here, it says 1935 Ford, and there's other cars on here, looks like used cars. 1932 Graham said, 1931 Ford sedan, 1931 Essex coach, 1930 Dodge coach. Yeah, a whole bunch of cars. And look at these cars, $165, almost $300, $400. Yeah, so this newspaper dates to approximately the mid-1930s, maybe even 1940. And there's a whole bunch more over here. Alright, so it turns out that ladder didn't really lead to anywhere super extensive. And now we're in this stoped out section. There's something down there, it looks like it just ends. There's a little opening here, and I see some sunlight through here. Yeah, there's some more rail. Alright, there's a huge portal. So looking over here, there's a, looks like a chute, and this probably used to be a classifier. And then looking down that way, that probably keeps going, but yeah, look at that. It almost looks like there used to be a skip car, because you could see that's where the locking mechanism is on both sides. So the skip car probably would have went down there. Let's see what we could find down this way. So there's that one hole that I seen. Let's use the right hand rule, see what's over this way. Alright, looks like that just faces. That's where I just came from, and I'll be headed down this left-hand passage. Yeah, it looks like they try to remove the rail, but it's still laying. That's pretty interesting. And then right up here, we got these insulators. That's really cool that they're still intact. Oh, and check out this. Look at all this timbering. We got a really nicely intact ore chute right there. And it looks like we got a winze. You could see the skip car rails going down. I wonder how far that, oh. Yeah, it looks like it goes down close to 40 feet. And then that keeps on going. And I feel really cold air coming from that way. Alright guys, so before I head down any ladders, I'll explore all the drifts on this main level. Hopefully there's some cool stuff to be seen. I'm sure there's way more artifacts to be found. So right here, looks like we're coming up on a really stoked out section. Here's an ore chute, and you can see the surface from here. There's a bunch of gobbing and a retaining wall, and that's one huge stope. Whoa, this is one massive room. Whoa, no way. There's a sunlight. Holy crap. Look at this place. Oh my god, let me turn off my light. Wow, look at that massive pillar. That thing is like 10 feet across. Oh my god, this place is huge. So yeah, there's a surface right there. And right here, looks like we got a collar. Whoa. Yeah, we got a collar for a decline shaft. And here's a roller. Let's see if that thing still rolls. Yep, still rolls. So this is where the skip car would have went down. I'm sure they would have had at least 2 or 3 skip cars in this mine. But yeah, there's a look at the collar. This is one huge and amazing mine. Look at that. Massive pillars. And that goes way down there. And I seen there were some steps right here. And this leads to what looks like a workers section. Like their where they took their break. Very cool. And we got some old and new graffiti from the miners and explorers. That says May 25th, 1926, 1981, 82, 1965, February 28th, 1941, 1963, 65, 75, and here's a card from Underground Explorers, Southwest Mine Explorers. Yeah, this place is just hard to fathom. I mean, there are just so many different places. Wow. The scale of this mine is just insane. And then look in there, there's a whole bunch of timbers. And look at that pillar. I mean, that is really crazy to see. And then there's looking up those steps towards the workers' station, and looking off this way, I seen that there was a switch plate and the rails led right to it. So, you know, I would have to guess that there was actually an ore car that went down here. I might head down there. Alright guys, so let's start heading down into this decline shaft. The good thing about it is that it's not too steep, so you don't even have to go on the ladders. You can basically just walk down. And there's a couple of insulators. You could see one right there. There's a couple more down there on these timbers. Alright, so check this out. It's not every day that you see a pretty much fully intact chute. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this would have opened and closed the chute. There's looking up. There's actually a ladder right here, so this probably leads up into the stoped out sections. And I'll keep going down there. Finally made it down to the bottom of this decline shaft, and right here, that's an ore car wheel. You can see part of it's broken, but that's a very cool find. And then the rails keep heading off this way. Right at the get-go, we got an ore chute. You could see the carbide dots that they put to track the loads of ore that came out of that one. Alright, so I made it to a three-way intersection, and this looks to be pretty interesting. There's quite a bit of timbering and shoring in this section. So who knows what else we might find. Just to the right we got a classifier. That's a little bit more modern. There's a filled in section that keeps going. Now let's see what's off this way. I'm not sure, but this looks like a muck sheet. And that looks like the end. There's looking back at the filled in section that I just traversed through. So this drift just ends in about 30 or 40 feet. And I already looked at this one. This one ends in about 20 feet. Alright guys, so I made it back to the top of this decline shaft. And right now I'll be going down into these stopes, but just for a little bit because I'm really running out of time. So here's the first artifact I found down in the stopes. This is 1 quarts of RPM motor oil. And on the bottom it says Standard Oil Company of California, based out of San Francisco. So that's a really cool find. And they go way over that way. Here's a ladder I just went down. And then there's looking up into the stope that I was just in. Whole bunch of gobbing right there as well. And this is one huge room. Yeah, so not much else was going on in that stope, so I'll be headed out and checking out that one metal structure, but that's pretty much the end of this mine. There's a couple of nooks and crannies here. Another pillar right here. And look at all this gobbing. Wow. That's about 10 foot high. Alright, so I'm headed out of the hole, and I didn't realize that there was this massive open stope. I'll probably be really surprised when I see where I pop out on the side of the mountain. Look at all this rock. Look at that massive boulder. I'm sure that fell off up there. Wow. Yeah, who would have thought? This is one massive hole. Alright, so I know that this video isn't going to do justice, but this is the biggest open stope I've ever seen. So it starts over there and it spans all the way to there, and there's way more over that way. It's at least 150 feet across and maybe even 100 feet high. That's the top right there. This place is huge, and there's just so many holes. There's a hole there, a couple open stopes there, another one here, a couple more down there even. So there's looking up the side chute that I just came down. You can't really tell, but it was really steep going, especially on all these rocks. There's yet another portal right here, and this almost looks to me like explosives storage. Yeah, look at that. Still got the door. And it looks like it goes in about 20 feet and then it just ends. So yeah, that huge open stope was right above where I started. I was not expecting to pop up there. And there's yet another portal right here. Let's take a quick look, see what we can find. Alright, so I'm just inside the portal, and right here you can see that there used to be a door. And right over this way, this looks to me like a possible camp stove, a makeshift camp stove. Not totally sure. If you guys know better than me, please comment. And then right there it says Esso Company, California, Richmond, California. Then it has some numbers there. And then right in the middle, you can see that there's an open hole. Alright, so here's this structure, and it has corrugated metal on the sides and the roof. So let's take a look. Yeah, looking right in here. I was just looking up that hole. So if I had to guess, this was probably a hoist house. It had a hoist inside of here. And there's a look at that side.